down to the bottom, or loving the lows, for a bit of alliteration. So this is for low notes. Everybody wants to squeal away at the top. I don't know why. Well, I kind of know why, but I'm thinking, what's wrong with nice rich low notes as well? So let's see what's involved in these. Low notes I find quite delicate. We want to, in this exercise, we want to avoid what almost seems a natural tendency, or maybe it's copied or whatever, to kind of do this stuff, to look down and think there and start to all that, it gets in the way. So we're looking to see if we can approach them watching out for that kind of constriction thing going on, watching out thinking, oh, I'm starting to do it. Some people it's very reflex action. As soon as I get to a note I can hear it kicking in, they can feel it, and they seem to be at a loss to be able to do anything about it. It takes quite a while. Some people have more control over it straight away, probably not quite so habitual. So let's just see what happens with Hannah if we do this. Make sure you breathe, because they take a fair bit of air but not a lot of pressure. Don't go down with it, stay where they are. Ready with the air. Palate up. Very good. That's good. Don't get loud because it won't. Keep feeding the air. Keep it quiet. Good. Keep underneath it. You stay where you are. Careful, there's a little bit of tugging. Let there be nothing if there's nothing. Don't force something that isn't there. Easy, low. Is that it? Try the last one. Just go off the end, doesn't matter. Don't tug for it. Just let it be that. Do one more. Let the air do the work. Good. Nothing much I noticed there. What do you notice, sensation-wise? Did you feel anything? Did it feel quite comfortable?
Kind of. No, not the lowest note, but...
So the lowest note's not really there. No. So what happens if you just have... It's comfortable enough now? Mm. So we can get there from So really I'd say there should be no discomfort at all, because you just let it get slacker and slacker. I mean, it's easy for me to say. It's a question of that internal seeing and feeling, which obviously I've developed over some time. But you just slacken them and put the air through, and you realise they're just not going to respond. They're like that, so there's no discomfort. So that's what you're looking for as you head to it. So Hannah did very well there. Things I'd say to watch out for, obviously the that thing doesn't help. Here's the difference between me constricting a bit there and simply getting out of the way of it. Palate up gives a bit of height. If I leave the palate down, we get this. Put the palate up and the jaw down a little. So that's usable, particularly with a microphone. I can't make it any louder. It becomes a one-trick pony, the very lowest notes, so they do what they do and that's it. If I try and make that louder, I ruin it. I just blow. You can imagine these slack chords, and you start putting more air through, you just blow them into a kind of chaotic kind of vibration. You want the balance where they can just sit there and do that. I can add a little bit of focus. We might try that just now. So my little bit of focus is adding a bit of So if I do that and keep the resonating space, the guitar body as I call it, remove the focus, put the focus back in. With that little bit of focus there, it means I can work a bit harder, because it's like I was squeezing them together a bit, and it gives a bit more edge, just a little bit more edge and cut. You can use it if you like. If we go lower than that, I can't really get any focus there at all, it won't work. I've just got what I've got. I still make the most of what I've got. What I've got is here. What amplifies it is here. So I make the most of what's coming above the larynx by amplification, which isn't type amplification. I can use that on the mic if I go lower still. I could use that on a mic if I've got a system that can reproduce those sorts of frequencies well. A lot of PAs won't, they roll off, and mics roll off as well. But you can use that and just shake the floor. No, not you. She thinks, what are you talking about? Just about that, which is, no, that's the end of it. So, thing about low notes as well, here's something to watch out for. They use a lot of air, but you don't notice it. They use a lot of air. My images, there's a wide pipe of air moving at this speed, whereas for high notes, there's a narrow shaft of air moving at that speed. So with high notes, you get a real sensation of physical stuff. With the low notes, you don't get much sensation, but the note's gone in about 3 seconds. Be ready with the air, but not in a brutal way. In a be very generous with it, but don't force it on someone. If you know what I mean, it's generosity, not forcing. So let's see what we can do with your lowest note. Give me roughly your about, I don't know, a couple of tones up from your bottom note. So right in the approach there, I heard a little bit of can you find you're the octave above, of course. Go a bit higher maybe there. There's some little, I see as you set up, I see something that goes a bit like that. So can you think, let the air do it. Good, just soften it a little, one more time. Space. There, very subtle differences. I'll go with that. What happens, see if you can find any of this. Hannah hasn't done this, so we'll just see, spring it on you, why not? Can you find a little bit of See, I've squeezed there a bit, and that means I can put a bit more pressure, and it gets a little bit more aggressive, that's the right word, a little bit more projection. But keep the amplifying space. You have to be able to separate that from that, and then you've got that going on as well, so it's practice. Good, then work it a bit. Good, how does that feel? Do you notice it's a bit firmer in terms of tone? When you hear it back, you might hopefully be able to hear that on the camera. Watch out with that one, don't do too much because you'll tire yourself. It's just a little bit of focus. So if you're doing something down there which is a bit bluesy, I might keep a bit of that in there. But if I'm doing something softer, then I'll let it go. So just in the end, it's just everything's a kind of organic mess.